Good evening, everyone. This is Kim Casey, principal at Grandview High School. This meeting is being recorded so that we can share it with others. As we start this evening, I do want to let you know that there is no communication to us because I'm expecting quite a few people, so we won't have the chat or the live feed on for this particular meeting. We would ask that you put your questions in the Q&A at the kind of at the bottom of your screen, unless you happen to be on your phone. And we're going to get started. It is being recorded once again, so students and people can listen to it later, but I'm going to try and do my best to fill you in with what we know this evening. So I do want to let you know that all the information this evening is based off the guidelines from the Yakima Health Department and the Grandview School District and is subject to change. Now, that's the written part, and the reality is things are changing every day. As you know, we wait for messages from our governor, we wait for messages from the Yakima Health Department, and so we're going to do our very best. But this time last year, I was having to deliver a very different message. The message I delivered was, I'm sorry, I don't think we're going to be able to have graduation. And this is the message that I want to give you tonight. We are having a graduation ceremony. Here's what we know for sure. Graduation is Saturday, June 5th. It is at 8 p.m. and the gates open at 7:15. You won't be able to have any umbrellas, canopies, or large sunshades. Guests will be allowed. We do not know at this time how many per student or what the seating configuration will be. I will share more about that as this presentation moves on. Just like always, balloons and flowers are welcome to be brought to the stadium, but they have to be tied to the outside. And it's probably best in this particular situation to leave them in the car. The graduation will be live streamed, and it will also be on the big screen. But for those who cannot participate in person, and we're sorry for that, the live stream will be done. We have amazing new technology. So kind of like when if you've ever been to a professional sporting event, you might even have a better view from those at home versus those in the stadium. It's not quite the same, but you'd have a really good, be able to hear it and see it quite well. We do know that restrooms will be open. Believe it or not, for a little while, we didn't know what we were going to do about the restrooms, but we will have the restrooms open. Just a couple days ago, Governor Inslee supported us with those of us that are doing outside activities, everything from the Seattle Mariners to the Grandview High School. What it means is we will have a vaccinated section. In this vaccinated section, which I'll show you a map in a little bit, you must have your card, your vaccination card with you, or a picture of the card, for example, on your phone. It must show the type of vaccine and the dates of the vaccine. That way, if you have the one shot style or the 2-shot style. The one thing you need to understand about this is in that section, no one under the age of 16, because at this point, no one under the age of 16 has had vaccinations. So I'll give you an example. If grandma and grandpa have been vaccinated and your little brother may want to come with them, the little brother cannot sit with them. They would need to sit in your other assigned seating, and I'll talk about that in a minute. What do we know about the ceremony? We know that there will be a stage, just like always, decorated the same way for you. We know that we'll have guest speakers, just like tradition. We know the band will be playing in the procession and recession. We also know that you will walking in the procession single file. Now that's a little different than tradition. Tradition had been in pairs or sometimes triplets, but you will have to walk in single file. Here's where the new part gets. I'm watching the chat and, the question and answer. I don't see anything yet, so I'm just wanting you to know I'm checking it. The graduates will sit in the home stands in assigned seats. They will be 6 feet apart, wearing masks. They will have a blank diploma cover at their seat, as the students will not be shaking hands and picking up a diploma. For those of you parents who are listening, we will have a healthy, safe way on practice day where your student will have that picture standing on the stage, shaking the hand and getting the diploma. Now we know we won't be shaking hands, but we know we will have that professional picture walking across the stage with a diploma in their hand with a really nice backdrop. So when that traditional piece where the ASB president and the class president says your name, what will happen is they will say your name, just like always, and then you will stand and we will give plenty of time for cheering and a picture, okay? So just like before, where you used to stand up and you walk across the stage, you will stand up and you will hold up your diploma like this or like this or like this. No, not really. You'll be celebrating and you'll hold it up and we'll say your name and your family will get to celebrate you. We have masks ordered that say GHS class of 2021 on them. Everyone will wear a mask except when speaking at the microphone. We're working on the process of how we will clean that apparatus between people. We will do the traditional fireworks and the tossing of caps. And so that tradition will stay the same. What will be different, and this is the biggest difference for all of you listening, is the recession. And that's normally when the students leave. And then all of the families and all of our communities celebrate our people on the stadium floor and in the streets and all the sidewalks, right? Wherever we do that. We can't do that. And one of the plans that the governor has said is we have to have a way to empty or stop that congregation of people. And so what we're going to do is after the fireworks and the tossing of the caps, we are going to release everyone from the stadium except the graduates. We're going to have you go to your car, go home. Normally the graduates drive. We're going to have you go home and the graduate will come to you at your home to begin your celebrating. I know that's not as much fun, but we're happy we get to have a graduation and we get to have fireworks and we get to have all of those other pieces. We're just going to have to change the last part a little bit. So I'm going to push pause on my speech right here. I'm going to check any questions. Nope. Okay. Here's this map I'm talking about. So I'm going to use my cursor a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. This is the visitor section up here at the top. That's going to be the vaccinated section. We'll have a person here checking vaccination cards and a person on this end. So one person on each end or two people checking. Then what am I trying to say? Well, checking how many can go in the vaccinated section. Here is one set of restrooms. We also have restrooms down on this end of the main grandstand. The graduates will sit here. Here's the stage for the speakers. This is a little off for the band. I'm going to actually use the band is going to sit in these two end bleachers where my cursor is right here behind the goalpost. And you'll notice these little squares. What we're working on right now is every graduate will get, don't quote me yet because I don't know, a certain number of chairs and then a certain amount of space. We're told right now 10 square feet where you could bring blankets or sit on the turf, but we cannot have home chairs like when you go to a family barbecue and you carry in your 2 lawn chairs, because our special turf, you cannot have sharp objects on it. So we're working on that, and that will be for webinar number 2. So that's where we're at for tonight. I'm going to start answering some questions. And as I think about some more things, I'm going to go back through it. One person is asking, when will you know how many people each graduate can take? I don't know the answer. So it may have heard or may not have heard, the governor yesterday gave us a 2-week hiatus before he's going to make the decisions for all of the counties. And the reason I'm not saying now is because if we go back to phase 2, if we go back to phase 2, then the number will be smaller. If we stay in phase 3, the number will be larger. Adrian, I'm going to answer your question now. And since you're typing, Adrian, I'm going to ask you to help me out because it's only one way. Adrian, when my cursor is on the screen, can you see it? You could just type yes if you can see my cursor on the screen. Okay, so now I'm going to answer this question. Adrian's question is, where is the section for non-vaccinated? So Adrian and all of the people listening, let's take a look at one of these little blocks right here. This would be one student's family plot, you might say, or family area. And so we are working on a mathematical equation, and for those of you who like geometry, about our goal of getting 239 to 242 graduates on this area where the family would get their spot for non-vaccinated people. The people have to be 6 feet between squares, and the square can be 10 feet square. So 10 by 10 is 100 square feet. We don't know how many people can be in it yet. And this would be so this would be 5 families or 5 graduates. So graduate 1, graduate 2, graduate 3. One person is asking, I was a little late, but do we have to be vaccinated to come? The answer is no. So anonymous attendee, I'm going to hope I understand the question correctly. Where can the parents and siblings see the graduate during graduation? So anonymous attendee, if your family is sitting right here, you're going to be sitting up in the stands. They will see you sitting here, and they will see the speaker going here. Up here on this end is our big new screen. So there will be a close-up tight picture of those that are sitting here, and the activities on the stage will also be shown on the big screen, very much like if you're at a professional athletic event. No, there has not been any vaccinated instructions from the governor. For example, if 2 of the graduates are vaccinated, can they walk and sit together? As of now, the answer is no. Now remember my first slide. If something changes in the webinar 2 weeks from now, we will update everyone on that. So the next question was, do you have to sign up for vaccinated seating? The answer is yes, and it will work something like this. You will have a Google survey to each graduate. The graduate's name will go on there. Then they will say, for example, let's just say, remember we're pretending that there are 6 tickets per graduate. We will need to know if 2 are vaccinated and 4 are not, or if all 6 are vaccinated. So it may be that this vaccinated section gets too big. And so we would say, family X, all 10 of your vaccinated family go here, because family graduate number 2 has 3 unvaccinated and then 3 that go up in vaccination. Regarding graduate plots, how will these be assigned? First come, first served, alphabetical, student standing? Well, I wish, Angel, I knew the answer. So first thing we have to do, everybody, is we have to hear what the governor is going to tell us about how many people. Then we get to do some geometry and some math, and we get to figure out how many families would be in this area. What our initial thinking was, is if you're sitting over on, if you're a graduate and you're sitting on this end over by the S in the word graduates, we'd want your family to sit on this end kind of by you, in the middle, and so on. But as you know, all good plans don't always work. So then we were thinking first come, first serve, and then it's a big, huge lineup at the gate. And we don't really like that idea because then that's not safe health-wise. So then we were thinking about, you know, the bingo ball game where everybody's student number is in the big turn and we pull them out. And then you would kind of go, one is in the middle, the second drop ball pulled here, the third ball here. Then we talked about the first row being your ASB president, your class president, and your top 10, and then free first come, first serve. So please bear with me. And if you have, oops, sorry, everybody. I don't know why that happened. If for some reason you have an idea that is fair for every graduate and every family, we would really like to hear them. I'm going to do the last part of my slide before I answer a few more questions. Unanswered questions, final guest counts, the ticketing process. Every person who comes in has to present a ticket because I have to be responsible for notifying people who may have been exposed during the graduation process if we have someone who is positively tested shortly after graduation. We don't know for sure how we're going to do this recession and emptying the stadium, excuse me. We're going to do some student surveys about guest counts and how many are vaccinated. We don't know exactly how that's going to work yet. And during practice, students will know their location and they can share with the guests. We're thinking seating will be first come, first serve, but we're really open to ideas. When and where do we get the tickets? You will get the tickets at practice of graduation on Friday. You will get them then and at the practice. June 5th at 8 p.m. is correct. So Ariana, your question is, are they for only unvaccinated family members? No, heavens, no. You could have all of your family in one of those little plots that you're talking about. But let's just say that we get to bring a lot of people in. So you would like to keep your plot for 7 unvaccinated family and your 2 vaccinated family members would like to sit up above. That might be an option if we get to bring quite a few people, but we don't know that yet. If you are vaccinated, do you have to sit in the vaccinated seating? No, your choices will be by ticket, the plot, or by ticket, the vaccinated area. And your graduate and the graduate's family will make those decisions. Destiny, let me see if I can answer this question. Everybody, here's the question. If the graduate has vaccinated family members and graduates are only allowed to have 4 family members, would the vaccinated family members be able to sit in the vaccinated section and 4 in the pod? We just don't know. It'll depend on where we're at approximately. So today is the 5th. My next webinar in this type of meeting will be 2 weeks from today. So that's 14 days from today. So that will be on the 19th, and I will hopefully have some more information about counts. Which Friday is practice? The Friday right before graduation, 4 p.m. Practice is Friday, June 4th. I said 4 p.m. I did not mean 4 p.m. Oh my goodness. I did not mean 4 p.m. It's June 4th normally in the morning. Practice, June 4th, normally in the morning, 9 a.m. We take pictures, you get your honor cord, you get your pictures taped, and we practice and we go over all of the things similar to what we're doing today. Okay, I am going to stay on. I'm going to go back through the first slides. I'm going to just touch on them and let us go. So once again, this information is based on guidelines from the Yakima Health Department and the Grandview School District and is subject to change. I'm going to leave this open. Graduation is June 5th at 8 p.m. Gates open at 7:15. You can read this and it will also go to your school email or to your Google account. Here's what we know about the ceremony so far. Here's a question. Do you have to go to practice? You do not walk if you do not practice. When do you get the real diploma? You get the real diploma approximately June 15 to June 20. We have to verify all of your grades, make sure everything is done, and we have to get your permanent records ready. And we do that after the 5th, and normally it's about a week or 10 days later. Yes, you have to bring your cap and gown to practice because that is how we practice. And we take our pictures our professional pictures at that time. Would or could the number of people that we walk with change? Possibly. You can kind of keep a track on that as what we see from the governor and the Yakima County Health Department. As of right now, we are told no, because here's what would happen. You would want to hug and give high fives and touch. And so we don't know. Right now, the answer is no. So Lexi, I think I just answered that. Is there a possibility the walking single file may change? I hope so. I really, really hope so. But right now, I just plain old don't know. Oh, here's a good question. When do the signs and the pictures go up? So I hate to use the word guaranteeing, but I'm going to use the word guaranteeing. All the yard signs will be delivered to you by Sunday at 5 p.m. Some are starting to go up. We've got about 100 out and about 140 to go. So they'll be coming up. The banners with your pictures on them are slated to be, I get to drive to Seattle because I love you so much, and pick up your banners. And I'll be going late next week to pick them up. So they'll probably go up about the 20th of May-ish. So do you have to pay for the pictures they take of you? So you get a picture taken because it's part of our permanent record. If you want a copy of the picture, then you have to pay for the picture. But we take every student's picture, and then you can always order them at a later time through the Dorian's website. Julie, the pictures, the students get a link to the Dorian's website, and then you order them that way. Or there's an order form that they will get, probably the week before graduation, that they can fill out and turn that packet in at the time they have their picture taken. What are graduates supposed to say when up front? I don't really understand that. If you are selected as a class valedictorian or a salutatorian, or you're the class speaker, then you would have a speech. Otherwise, students don't technically say anything. Someone else reads your name. Oh my, this is funny. You guys are gonna laugh at me. Somebody asked, do boys wear gray and girls wear maroon? Do you know what? For all the years I've been here, you think I would know which color it is. I can go out and look at the picture, but it's not going to be any different. So if you know what it was last year, it'll be exactly the same. I think the boys wear gray and the girls wear maroon, if I remember right. Yes, you keep the banners, but you get them when you get your diploma. We ask that you do not take them off the street. The question says, does the banner have our senior picture or your school picture? If you submitted a senior picture to Mr. Charvette through the link, it has your senior picture. I'm assuming this person is asking, when is the last day of school for seniors? Your last academic day is on Thursday. What happens on Thursday is the day you turn in all your books and do everything. So you still have to come on school on Thursday, whether you're an online student or a face-to-face student. All students will turn in all of their technology, pay all their fines, make sure everything's all done on Thursday, June 3rd. Then you will come to school June 4th. And if we can work it out, we may not walk the halls, but we're going to walk the outside of the schools like we have done in the past. And you can go to the elementary schools. We're still working on the nuts and bolts of that after practice. And then everybody is excused and getting ready for graduation the next day. No, there is no senior exit interview or job shadow. This is a COVID year. Yes, all CLC and open door students walk with the regular group. If you have not ordered a cap and gown, you can still order one. You can go to jostens.com or you can email me and I'll email you the link. But it's you have to pay for it at the time of your order and it's delivered here to the school. If you've ordered a cap and gown and you've paid for it, they're sitting here in the office waiting for you to pick them up. If you have still owe some on it, excuse me, if you've ordered a cap and gown but still owe a little money, you have to pay that first and then they ship the gown here and you pick it up in our office. Well, thank you everyone. This pretty much ends our evening. However, I am going to stay on for another minute in case you felt uncomfortable asking a question. I will watch the chat, but thank you very much. And 2 weeks, I'll send out another meeting invite. Our next webinar will be on May 19th at about the same time, maybe a little earlier, about 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone. As you drop off, I will watch, but I will stay and watch the count and I will watch the questions. Practice for graduation, to the person who's asking, you need to wear what the picture is from far away so they can see your feet and your pants. So if you're a girl, you might want to wear your whatever you're going to wear on graduation. So you want to look nice. Now you're going to have your gown and your stole and your cap on at practice because that's how we do it. But what's really underneath, we're not going to see it. You're welcome, whoever said thank you. We don't know how many family can go yet. I'm going to go back to that slide. Oops, or forward to that slide. We do not know the final guest counts, and we do not know the process for tickets. All right, you're slowly disappearing, but I don't want to hang up on you in case somebody has a question. So the student cannot walk until all of their computer and things are turned in. We might be better to turn it in on Wednesday or Wednesday evening rather than waiting till Friday morning. You're all very welcome. Oh, that's a great question, Sunshine. I didn't forget all about it. I'll add that to the webinar next time. They can decorate their caps. They have to be approved by me. Then nothing can stick off the cap on the front 3 sides. Every once in a while, somebody will put a bow that hangs over a little bit, but nothing that hangs down. No graffiti of any kind, no beer, alcohol, marijuana, drug paraphernalia type things. They're supposed to be supporting and moving forward about what's celebrating their life. Sometimes they're of their family, sometimes it's a quote or a saying, sometimes it's a picture of something that means something to them. So they can decorate their cap tops, yes. The kind of the rule is nothing's supposed to stick off the edges. Hope that helps. Well, everybody, you're very welcome. We have 1 minute left until I'm going to stop the meeting. I'm watching that question and answer box. We're down to 11. Have you still with me? Anything last minute? It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to say goodnight, everybody. I'm stopping the recording and we'll go from there. Good night, everyone.